really should be about as close as it gets, or one team just has an off day and then we don't.
Which is sometimes what we actually have a lot of times, actually.
It's surprising.
But here we are. Villa and Coastline will be our 2 auto-ban maps. So these were played in the previous matchup between these, by these 2 teams.
All right,
we'll
Clubhouse.
go playing on Clubhouse. I think that's a pretty good map currently in the metagame.
Yeah,
to kind of test out how good you are at dealing with Heartbreach. How good are you at Heartbreach yourself?
Yeah.
How do you deal with roamers? Because yes, roaming on this map actually is a thing. How do you deal with anchors staying in garage? Because this is a difficult position to pull people out of. It requires a lot of coordination. How to deal with bandit tricks, with caught.
That makes it more of a test, honestly, if you think about it for TSM, because TSM, where are they strongest when they could just frag out? You look at Coastline was a perfect example of that. Now that they have to deal with a lot more hard breach stuff, most of the stuff you brought up was dealing with stuff around that in terms of juggling utility. Are they going to be as good at juggling the utility game as DarkZero? Because if not, then we maybe see TSM only win a lot of their defensive rounds on just being aggressive.
And remember, DarkZero is one of the highest technical teams out there. They're very good at using utility, at working together, and making sure that the utility is used correctly.
And you've got people like Shies that can frag out on hard breach. So it'll be interesting to see between these two. I do think this is a good map for DarkZero to take TSM to.
What do you guys think, though, at home? 69% for nice. With TSM?
A lot of favoritism for TSM, but I mean, to be honest, they
don't underestimate DarkZero.
Overall, they've looked like the stronger team. That's maybe a bit more one-sided than I would think, but at the same time, I mean, if TSM continue to play the way they have been able to play, and DarkZero don't have a great response to it, could be a TSM day again. But either way, even if TSM loses, they are still doing quite well this season. And it's like to lose to the other team that's tied with you right now is not a huge loss, but it's certainly not one you want to suffer. I mean, still, the rate things are going, it looks like these 2 teams for finals still.
Okay, let's just recap this for a second. Out of the 6 play days that we have had, we obviously have had 6 games of the night, right? 2 of them were ties between DarkZero Reciprocity and TSM and LG. So both of the teams that we have today. And all other 4 play days have been a smashing victory for one side against the other.
Yeah.
So 7-3 TSM Reciprocity, 7-3 SSG Reciprocity, DarkZero 7-2 against EG, and then 7-1 against Luminosity for DarkZero as well. This is just... I know it's match of the day, but a lot of times a singular mistake can really flip around on its head.
Yeah. Capital ban, not unexpected. What'll be interesting too as well is something to consider is that neither of these teams have played this map during the season so far. So neither of them have really shown what their current strats are on it. So that means there's going to have to be a lot of adaptation on the fly. There's the Thatcher ban. It's always fun. That means Maverick going to be that much more important, and the utility juggle we were talking about earlier, even more important. So Capital ban is definitely going to help a little bit here. But at the end of the day, Cash will be probably the most interesting site to watch in terms of how they play that out. Maestro going to be taken off. Now, Mir's not super great on this map, so we may see that stay, and instead the Echo go possibly. Can see about Valkyrie go as well. There are options, but no, it's going to be Mir. So that means the Echo is still going to be around, likely going to be played. Could see some Goyo as well, possibly.
Yeah.
He has been banned a couple times, but it's actually fairly rare just because I don't think he's been as scary as people are anticipating, and that's pretty common. I think the one exception to that, most people are like tend to overreact a bit to the strength of operators until they finally get into the meta.
Really?
But I think part of that's also, it's like Y2K, right? Part of the reason Y2K didn't really happen as much is because everyone was scared and prepared. And I think it's the same thing. People were scared about Goyo for so long, they prepared adequately.
That is actually a good point.
So
I never thought about it that way.
Useful fear, I suppose. I mean, maybe a bit rash, but at the same time, I do think it helped. Having that 3 months holding pattern, that the way they do that, I think it has been very beneficial to not repeating a lion situation, as we like to put it. So it's worked out.
But all of that is just a theory, a game, of course. Sports theory.
A lot of game theory here.
Yeah. So really, this is literally what we do. Like wherever we go out, we have to have a pact where, guys, we stop talking about the game.
Yeah, right. Good luck with that.
Honestly, we try very hard because I know it's a bit difficult to understand, but we have lives outside of this.
Please keep in mind they encourage us to continue to do that with money every day. Talk about this game. So we are incentivized.
Yeah. We are incentivized, but we try to de-incentivize ourselves from talking about it all the time.
That's you.
No, come on.
I don't talk about anything else.
God.
I don't know anything else. This is my world. I live in Clubhouse.
Well, here we are with TSM on the attack.
There's that both hard breachers that they can bring here. I mean, you can bring Thermite, but it's just you're not gonna be able to do as much with the Thatcher Bam. So you need that Maverick. And it also makes Zofia or Buck more important because usually Maverick's going to be Maverick tricking, which means you need a soft breacher to open things up once he finishes. And as we like to repeat, for those not familiar with Maverick tricking, what he's doing right now is Maverick tricking where you go across the top and the bottom. Doesn't need to literally be the very top of the bottom, but as you do so, it drops the reinforcement on the other side because it no longer has support to hang there. As you see that drop, now it is a soft wall.
Yeah.
It can be opened up by the Zofia or the Buck.
There you go.
Will be done by Achieved on Zofia. So you see one impact lifeline gone. And you can open up hatches fast as well.
Yep. It's literally like 2 seconds. I mean, even with all of this, TSM are wasting no time, and Merc up close and personal right now, just holding on angle from construction, checking for any cameras. Of course, you can tell there is a Valkyrie in play, and there's a Nitro Cell being prepared. The hatch is open here in construction, which is a very usual strategy here on the map. It allows you to deal with X-Kairos, shooting them from below if you're just playing on that stage, or just Nitro somebody if you get lucky. There's the X-Kairos I was talking about.
Here we go. Will he go for it? Buck could actually be a victim.
They're off an angle, and Hyper is not there.
He's in the wrong position. Mintz is actually taking a lot of damage as well.
There's a drone watching for rotations. They should have been able to watch the Valkyrie here. Geo's turning around the corner. It's giving the info. He gets shot down, but still alive. Hyper and Mint have taken a lot of damage, and the Habana is walking up the stairs. If they can just keep Hyper down there, they'll actually be fine, as a Chief can shut down rotations. You're checking behind the cash box by the A chassis. There's nobody there. X-Kairos coming around, as grenade will be thrown above the reinforcement. Just, oh no.
The peak doesn't work out for Merc.
Hot and cold, a great shot there, as all X-Kairos will be used, and it does open up the entire wall. You can walk through it. You have to be afraid of Nitro Cells coming in from below, or maybe being caught by that Valkyrie. And still for now, you would assume that she is still locked inside of the kitchen. Dartila wasn't destroyed through all of this, so this is the monstrosity that ends up being built around the corner. Yep. Great shot from a Chief, taking down Hot and Cold, and not a moment too soon, Devin. We're at 20 seconds left, and TSM have to get in.
Oh no,
it's open. It's open. He can go for it. There's some stuns. None more left. Try to watch for any rotations. Nitro Cell comes out, but it does not hit. Pojo Man is a bit too far away. You know they're behind the reinforcement, and Achieved has gone off on the rappel. There you go. He's got all the time in the world. 4 now for DarkZero to try and rotate into this. You'll see one crossing as the diffuser is planted very openly. You can long arm it behind one of the reinforcement there. If they can just defend that defender that's trying to zap away at the diffuser, finally they'll be down. Eclipse trying to fake things out. He's got 1 kill, but Geo will find the last. There he is. Rotating back onto site a bit too slowly there, but yeah, the SMG-12 is going to help you for a bit, but when you're against 4, that Vigil is not going to be too effective.
Overall, that was a really great execute. They weren't able to necessarily kill the players of DarkZero, but the way they cordoned them off, as you were talking about, cutting off a lot of the rotations, just being in great post-plant positions to make sure that DarkZero couldn't just retake. It was unfortunate they lost the fight against the Vigil, as he was doing a good job long-arming it, and they didn't really have a great counter to that long arming. They could have actually opened up a small hole or two with Maverick to kind of prep that, but because Merc died early on that peak, he wasn't able to do that. But overall, a great sneak-in plant there by Pojo, and the way they denied anyone trying to push back against it, and the way I think DarkZero was relying a little too much on the C4, as well as the Valkyrie, who was then trapped in kitchen. Just overall good execute by TSM. As you said, they wasted no time getting in there. Took them a while to get set up for the actual plant, but they were in decent post-plant positions. So there wasn't a scramble from TSM once they got plant down. It was just kind of a more calm, methodical approach. They did almost get caught off guard by Vigil being able to long arm it. And actually, had he stuck it, maybe it would have been a little bit better and just had someone covering for him. But either way, overall, that was a pretty good round for TSM and a great start. They're going to try cash again, though, just to see if this works out a little bit better. but it's risky. They've got the Mute and the Mozzie again, which we did see a little bit of work in denying drones last time in terms of TSM just not being able to get all the intel they wanted. Achieved up there with 3. Bolo and Geo managed to pick up 1 as well each. Eclipse and Hot Cold only at 1. So it wasn't a great round fragging-wise for DarkZero, but they're going to try it again. Eclipse on that Vigil once more. And Vigil Mute Mozzie combo is a good one in terms of being able to stay alive for a long period of time, and that did work to an extent for DarkZero. It's just the problem of TSM actually having really good map control and cutting people off. That means like maybe they won't necessarily be able to drone everywhere they want to, maybe they won't necessarily be able to find all the players they want, but if they just cut them off, it seems to work equally well. And this map does have limited amounts of rotations. It did improve when they did the revamp of it, the buff, but there's still limitations to the rotations, especially between the 2 floors. Especially rotating up when you're pretty much stuck to main stairs or cache stairs. That construction connector really makes a big difference here. And there we go. Bolo trying to take down 1 inside logistics, but loses the fight.
Fortunate there as a bit of damage is taken, but Achieved is going to run through that wall. And we're going to see the Maverick trick. Geo checking the hallway, the camera being destroyed. And the bit of extra utility there was taken away. I believe it was a pest, but there it is. It's down. You're going to walk your drone through into the center of the hallway. Bolo's checking. He sees that there's a hole open. There should be somebody downstairs inside of the kitchen to contest all of this. And Achieved will pop the wall, as we saw in the previous round. Again, it's the same site that DarkZero are defending, and they're still doing a decent chunk of work by taking HP off of TSM. But TSM are not wasting any time either. As they come in, there you go. Everybody just pointing at logistics. Don't walk through there. Don't think about it. There's pests around the corner, mute jammers, and the whole shebang. The frag grenade should be sailing over the wall any minute now. Flashbang thrown in to disorientate. Potentially there's only him in play. There's no bandit. Okay, Vigil's going to be tagged for just a second. I'm not sure who was playing. Maybe the Sky's actually playing on those stairs, the main ones. Achieved will turn around, check the lounge. There's nobody rotating from garage out, but there is an impact grenade that's been used to cause a rotation between garage and lounge. Bolo will come in to drone. That hole is a bit unfortunate, and I believe he missed one. No, there you go. Confirms the location. Achieved so close. Tries to fire in. Eclipse will take a lot of damage. There's a grenade from Bolo. Sails into Mint. That was a Mint nade. Perfectly done. Hyper, though, will be able to find Merc. Just on the entry from construction into cash. Pojo Man with 1 on a hot and cold. Achieve still has 2 stuns to use before they walk in. There's Nitro Cell used, won't do much. Achieved is down on the floor. Unfortunately, he cannot use that utility at all anymore. And there's 2 kills, though, that go the way of DarkZero. Hyper will find a kill of his own and turns it into a 1v2. Around the corner, though, Hyper will peek around and collect yet another kill. Man, Hyper is firing on all cylinders there on the Mozzie, just playing inside a cache.
It feels like the strategy of DarkZero is, you know, we're not winning a lot. We're not going to win a lot of gunfights on Rome and things like that. Let's instead just play time. Let's stay alive as long as possible. And once they go for the plant, we know where they're going to mostly be. Let's play against that. But it was really the good play inside cache that you saw that round from behind the wall, things like that. Like you mentioned, Hyper. Their ability to push back that time was much better prepared because, well, what's the point of staying alive if you can't do anything with that towards the end of the round? And they're just much better prepared. However, I think if they go cache again, TSM might be able to pull it off one more time. So cache, I think, is going to be a risky one overall because TSM seems to be doing a great job of getting up to the plant situation. It's just actually executing on a lot of those kills was a little too sloppy for them that round. Some lost fights I wouldn't have expected them to lose, actually. We will see them go down to church now, so should be a little bit different round. As DarkZero again should be turtling up, but it's in a way that you know, makes more sense for the bomb site. However, we'll see. They are going to have the pulse to at least call out information. I don't think they're going to go for an aggressive roam, but we could see it because sometimes they don't rotate down until late, of course, because they're getting hatches and things like that late. Hyper could, though, be feeling very confident after that last round. Want to play a bit more aggressive. He is still reinforcing hatch a little bit late, but I don't think he's going to get punished for it. You see there, 4 for him. Doing great that last round. It was definitely enough to save the round. But that was a very close one by TSM. I do think we're seeing good attacks by TSM overall, though. I was a little concerned about their attacks just because of what we were saying pre-match in terms of their ability to play a utility game. They seem to be doing a good job, at least, of pushing confidently. And that's the thing that I think they need to be able to do against a team like DarkZero. And DarkZero actually less interested in taking gunfights against TSM, which makes sense given their gunfighting skill. But once they get downstairs, interesting to see how this shakes down. They are doing a good job, of course, making sure clearing upstairs. They don't want to take it for granted that just because it's church that there won't be anyone roaming. Because, well, chances are DarkZero might want to throw one up just to see if they can, but they're not going to. So as soon as TSM's done droning all this, they can, of course, head down. The question is always, where will the attack be coming from? If there is a opening on the armory wall, for example, sometimes we'll see that be taken advantage of with the heart breachers that they brought. They have Maverick to open the hatches as well as Hibana, so those should get opened up. No problem. I don't expect a lot of really pushback because you can use the Kaed. You can, I mean, I guess the impact tricky with the kitchen is still something you're not really going to counter with Maverick.
Exactly. That's really the only spot there. I think reciprocity. There was some point where Fox was playing the Maverick, and he was someone that would go into kitchen and deal with the hatch personally.
You got to be brave to do that.
It really is. It really does take a lot of bravery, but it ended up actually working really well for the team, especially since that thermite ban was very common, and sometimes you'd have a Hibana ban, you have to kind of skirt around it, right?
Well, they also left your favorite wall soft, so that will be interesting once they get to the bottom of main stairs.
Exactly. That's very unfortunate. By that I mean the wall that separates the hallway downstairs between church and armory. And really, it's a hallway to armory. Well, there doesn't matter anymore.
Well scored.
Hits the Nitro, Bolos down. There's still one impact Gajmot that you could use to enter through there. I didn't quite catch if the bucket already opened up that side of the wall, right entrance into the armory. But it's a possibility there. Let's go one floor down. Oh, there's a shot from Achieve, and it has been opened up. So potential is there, but the Nitros are possible still from DarkZero with Eclipse just staying on this cardiac sensor pretty much until the end of the round now with 35 seconds on the mark.
Well, 30 seconds is not a lot to work with here now that they're just approaching downstairs. They've got to steal some behind Generator, but he actually exposed himself. Hyper at just a sliver of health left. Geo needs to play this smart. He's a 3-speed as well. He should be able to win this fight. They're from the same organization as well, so same CTU.
So,
he spots the arm. There we go.
Greatly done there, but Sky's already taken down Pojoman, denying the diffuser from being planted for just a bit more. You gotta go in and plant. They're trying to fight it. There's the trade. There's the caught it down. Mint all on his own. He doesn't have Nitros, of course, playing the smoke. He's gonna have to rotate into this hallway of death, but he gets one kill. Unfortunate. Merc just gets the plant at the right moment, peeks up to find. Mint. There's a good try there from DarkZero, but TSM, unfortunately, they had so much manpower left that at that point, it was not going to happen.
So far, the only round that DarkZero won is when they were able to kill Merc early. That's been the key. Can we kill Merc early, please? Okay, well, then we're going to go ahead and win that round. We'll see how they do on Gym, though. They could go to Church again. Going to Gym is always a little bit risky just because while you may have a good strat for it, it's always kind of up in the air whether or not it'll work. Geo, are you really going to play Glass? That would be different, but it's not going to happen. He's going to continue on IQ. No 6-picks coming out from DarkZero. The castle being played, though, is a big hint, a big tip-off that they're going to be playing Gym.
Attackers need to
so they should be well prepared for it. Now, they could have brought a sledge instead of a buck, knowing that there was likely going to be castles on the windows. But I got to imagine Achieve is bringing breach charges, which means it shouldn't be a big deal to open those up without expending the more valuable utility. As you see the castle barricade on the Gym window right there, and then the castle barricade on the Gym door. For those of you who don't watch a lot of probably you're just now catching up, that is the standard for Gym defense here. This is pretty much the way you do it. You cut off the line of sight to that hot tub wall on the west wall there that's now electrified, thanks to the Kaed. That wall is important because once that's open, and then especially once bathroom's open, it becomes very difficult to be able to rotate around because that cuts off the doorway to logistics, the doorway to bedroom, the master stairs, as well as the Gym doorway. You suddenly control a huge portion of rotations on the top floor by opening a single wall. You open up the bathroom as well, and all of a sudden you've got lines of sight into the bedroom, as well as to the construction connector door in bedroom. That's a lot of control you can get. Yeah. So you can see why they expend a lot of resources trying to defend that. Playing Kaed as well for that is quite good because you can then throw your Electroclaws from a distance. So you don't have to worry about, if I lost them, can I hit them from far? Because you don't want Bandit just sitting there. We used to see Bandit sometimes try with a shield. That is usually short for this world. However, at the end of the day, the Kaid really doesn't do much other than have Merc do his job here. And Merc's been gunning quite well on Maverick as well, so I don't think having to play Maverick has really been a big hurt. However, you can clip smokes through the walls still. That is something that I believe will be reworked at some point.
I hope.
But at the moment, I believe Ubisoft was saying specifically they had plans for the smoke to work a bit more like Captel's Firebolt, I think. And there we go, nice kill by Skies. Wow, that's twice now we've seen Bolo go down early. Despite being a crowd favorite, he hasn't been a favorite for staying alive, unfortunately. I don't know what that means. I just transitioned. That was a segue, man. I was hoping that would slip past me. Shut up. Don't bully me. Good call out.
Devin, you crack me up.
Yeah.
Call out was in the last.
Well, we'll see if Merc can crack this wall.
Oh my god. So the wall has already been opened up. Yeah, it's going to take a few more magazines to open the rest of
The
it.
important thing is killing Bolo means they have to either decide, are we just going to shoot this wall up or are we going to actually have Achieve rotate around?
Basically, and Achieved is very close to them. And I'm trying to think here, like, okay, what is he doing? Setting up his drone. He's trying to support Geo on his entry here. And with a minute 13, just now you're pushing cash because there's players in it. It's really taking a long time. There's someone, not specifically in construction, but...
Always cash.
There's a rotation hole between logistics and construction, and there's the Legion sitting in there.
Oh, no. See, that's what I was worried about. I was thinking he could place a breach charge on there, but it's like, your feet are exposed, your head's exposed. Good luck with that single life. He needed to use...
the lifeline.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Fair enough. Hey,
You
the
tried.
Electro Claw still can disrupt soft walls, so the electricity's in the air. You can feel it. Merc is going to continue to drone in. You got to be sure. I don't know how you'll be able to run your drone through it, but Gio's going to take a bit of damage from the goo mine. Pull back for just a second. He's taking even more damage from behind the wall. Impact grenade thrown above it to try and hit him there, as Merc will find hot and cold. It's something to finally take down the Clyde, but that operator's already done his work. That ship has sailed. Gio still trying to push cash, still trying to put as much pressure as humanly possible. He'll be able to find one onto Eclipse, but Mint has just now found two. Gio trying to collect one more in logistics, but he's walking into literally every single goo mine. He finds the kill, but there's the plant. Gio finds one more, and another one close to it. Mint, though, will go for the finisher. TSM still what? What? Oh no! Did they trade and the diffuser was already What happened?
He was still alive.
Oh no. Oh no, they traded?
Well, just like, I was checking my email, guys. What were you guys doing in there? Oh, boy. TSM. Nice.
That's unfortunate. Man.
Gio, well done.
That was just, like, there's no way he does this. And he walks in, slaps 3 people, and then the fourth one.
Did Pojo get the last kill because he got downed and Pojo was left still? No, I don't. Yeah.
No, I don't.
Because if the last player on defense got downed, there's no one to pick him up, so I think he just auto-died.
Pojo was alive. Yeah.
So I think that's why Pojo must have hit him earlier, and so Pojo was probably credited with the kill. I don't know.
Let's replay it just to see. Yeah, a lot of things just happened. So we're in 2v1, half HP on Gio, gets tagged, they both trade, but because there's still one more player alive, it ends up in a victory. I know, like, yeah, it was a 2v1 and Pojo Man was still alive. Of course TSM won the round, but we had... Like, in your head, you're like, I have no clue what's happening in that bedroom. All I'm looking at is what Gio's doing.
Pojo was just too busy making his next video. Like, I'm making a digest. You guys hash it out. Well done by Gio, though. Just pulling that pistol out. Taking advantage of being 3 speed. Look at that. 8 for Gio. He is rocking it, despite Merc's early success. It's been really working. Achieved, been doing some pretty good work as well. Bolo dying early has been a little bit of a problem, so let's hope he can shape that up. But Goyo finally coming out here from DarkZero as they're going to try Church again. This time with a lot more shields. See if that makes a difference for them. See Hot and Cold with 2 shields to help him fight 2 different positions. You can use one to help fight into blue, the other to fight if they go to try and rush in through the far left wall there of the arsenal, or if they drop hatch. So, what's going to have to happen here is Bolo needs to not get C4'd this time. Yeah. That was a bit of a problem for him. To be fair, he wasn't necessarily doing any bucking at the time. He was trying to drop a grenade to counter impact tricking. It wasn't a bad idea. It was just the timing really worked out better for Eclipse on the pulse. But that should be Gio's job, to be able to counter the pulse here, because he needs to be able to watch for that heartbeat sensor to come out and give a warning to Bolo, or just maybe not have Bolo stand there this time. Either way, if Bolo could stay alive a little bit longer, this could go even more TSM-sided. But overall, here's the thing. TSM winning on a defensive side of map right now on attack. Looking pretty good for them to possibly win on the second half as well.
I mean, 3 rounds on attack is pretty great, right?
Yeah, they even did pretty good on the round that they lost, so.
So what's the play from DarkZero? They're going to bring hot and cold on that Goyo. So curious to see where those shields will be. This is good play from Merc. Wow, that's actually super effective. Oh my god. He can actually open 2 hatches with this. I just want to watch this. Can we just stay on Merc? I'm so impressed. I don't know why.
It takes a lot of practice, honestly.
Oh my god!
Your timing has to be perfect.
He actually opened 2 hatches with all of his breaching torches. Merc right now is my hero. This is how you're
got a Maverick now.
There we go. This is great. This is really great. It really takes a lot of effort to know, and a lot of practice to really get things down as a Maverick player. So very proud of him.
Yeah.
Chiefs is going to open up that rotation we were talking about before. There's potential there. Breach Shard's going to open up a bit more of the floor. TSM right now, everything's going up.
They just need to take care of some of those shields. As you see, this could be a bit of a problem later in the round. They have used both the impact lifelines there, and now they're going to have to possibly rely on Bolo's grenades. And Bolo hasn't always been long for this world, but they have opened the wall to be able to rotate as they need. Eclipse, in the meantime, is going to anticipate that. He's going to see if a couple of them start piling up on that position as he's sitting in the corner. You can see his silhouette, orange silhouette right there. Watching. As soon as he sees 2, they will anticipate a possible push through.
There's 25 seconds left, so it will be time in just a bit. Goyo shields are being popped, smokes are being used at the right time. Grenades will be lobbed as well. Eclipse might be waiting for the info. He can throw at the Nitro, and he hits Bolo again. Sky's gone 1, but Merc just entered and found 2. Pojo Man with 1 more, but Sky's on the refrag onto Geo. It's now a 2v2, but make it a 2v1 as Hyper's been down. And Merc is going to turn around the corner, get a 3K, close to the 4th. There it is, Merc! The 4K team solo Merc.
Merc doing work.
Is going to get the round. Very well done there. Excellent. Not only does he get a 4K, but also opens up 2 hatches with his breaching torch.
You know,
I mean, I don't know what to say,
a new main. We found a new main for Merc. Just play Maverick. Forehead. It's been quite the role for him. He's been doing. I mean, maybe banning the Thatcher, which was TSM's role. Like they were practicing for this. They were very well prepared for playing this. Like. Merc is absolutely on it in terms of like, yeah, we're going to man Thatcher. I'm going to play Maverick, and I'm just going to slay out. And guess what? I'm going to get 2 hatches.
I mean, I know people right now are watching, and they might be like, hey, this is...
Hey.
Why is
just saying hey a lot?
No, honestly, like, hey, why is Milos just so happy and so, like...
There's a few things that really excite me.
How elated can you be when you see a Maverick opening 2 hatches? You can be pretty elated.
It's because Thatcher's banned and we can't talk about the AR-33 thing with grip, so we're gonna have Maverick. He has to pick something else.
Oh my god, there's your post for the next meme weekend subreddit.
Oh,
Milos talking about Maverick.
Get a little excited.
Mavericking a hatch.
2 hatches!
Oh
double vision!
God. I can't believe it! He actually did it, the absolute madman.
But Geo as well, like look at that. He's been doing so much work for his team as well. Like, it's TSM have been on it. They're still yet to have this bad day I keep waiting for. TSM, like, when the season started and they started doing well, I'm like, okay, maybe this is a fluke, just because it's such a contrast to last season. But they really have been playing like a different team. This is how they play in best of 3s, like.
Yeah.
This is what you expect from them, and this is what you want to see.
Remember TSM last season and like, yeah, best of 1s didn't work for us.
Well, best of 0s most of the time for them, unfortunately.
Hey, that was last season. Right now, they're completely on it like a car bonnet. And DarkZero are trying their best. This is the thing. The DarkZero are bringing the right tools, and they're using them correctly. But TSM somehow... that's...
He's going to die from electricity with low health like that.
I cannot applaud you for that one there, Merc.
Obviously, he got shot a bit first. It wasn't from just the electricity. He's doing it. He's doing it. Chief's covering for him. Bolo watching a flank as well.
But honestly, it's like you might be watching this and trying to understand why we're like applauding TSM so much and why we're not talking much about DarkZero. It's just, honestly,
There's a lot more to talk about with TSM right now.
Number one, but number two, DarkZero really are bringing everything that's required. They're bringing the right tools. They're trying to switch up their games. They're trying to be a bit more proactive. We're bringing the Vigil. They tried to be a bit more defensive by bringing the Goyo before. So they're really trying. Unfortunately, TSM are just able to win when it comes to those pure gunfights.
They're executing like an axeman.
Exactly. I completely agree.
It's been on top of it. Time management has been a little bit of a problem, especially that last round. But at the end of the day, it's winning the gunfights. Like DarkZero, again, they're playing very like passive and trying to win those late round gunfights, but they're just not winning enough of them, and that's why it's 4-1. I like what they're trying to do, but it only worked one round so far. So I don't know. Maybe they did need to play a little more aggro. This is the last defensive round, so it doesn't really matter after this. But playing passive is just not working. Now, this is where this kind of cost them last time. Bolo dying, as well as I think it was Merc that died first on this one. Merc dying is really what cost them on this. If Merc can stay alive this long, and Bolo can stay alive, or Geo, oh, that's going to cost them a lot, though. This execute now suddenly has to be very different. That is, Pojo's going to have to put that in his digest as a fail.
Oh, achieved around the corner.
So close.
Last time, they were able to flush out Defender, Eclipse on the Vigil from the garage and clear him out in Lounge. Bolo have to walk in.
Nope.
Double angle. Pojo Man, though, finds 2 kills with a Bearing 9. Lost on the third is achieved, though. Will be able to find Eclipse. Hyper with a Nitro, but achieved with another one. Mint already used all his utility. You can go and plant, and Geo finds the last one as he enters into cash. TSM are just collecting kills. There's... How are they even doing this? DarkZero are bringing everything, and it's still not working. And if I'm DarkZero right now, I'm so frustrated.
If I was DarkZero, I would have just tried to find a way to like bring 5 C4s. Because so far C4s have been working better than guns for them.
Oh my.
Yeah, that was...
It really has to be super frustrating.
I mean, I gotta imagine TSM's boots are getting really dirty with how much they're stomping right now. This is just... I think things can switch now. But it wasn't just trades. It was often trades back for 2. Like Pojo, the hard breach going in and slaying them.
Oh, I mean, you got to make up after losing, opening the wall in that way.
But it just seemed like every time they'd kill one of TSM, it was just like, okay, we'll trade 2 back. Like, we're going to win this. Oh, man. It was unfortunate to see Bolo fall again, as he's been... it's funny because... Bolo, I think, was higher up there as a fragger in the first season, but they were losing. Now he's kind of found more of a middle role, but it's let Merc shine a bit more. And overall, that's been working better for TSM. And that's not to... I think the thing to highlight with Bolo that is not expecting necessarily tons of fragging from him, he's bringing a lot of end utility, playing things like Buck and not necessarily fragging on, but also opening things up, getting his grenades where he needs to, things like that. So we'll see how he does on Vigil. But... definitely other players, Achieved, Merc, and Geo, have really been doing work. Even Pojo up there for. Sky's definitely trying to do work. We saw Hyper as well with some good rounds. Eclipse, especially with some C4 kills. Mint always tries his best, but Hot and Cold, who used to be a really strong fragger, has kind of just really struggled in that department for a while now. I mean, he's going to be on the same role as Merc. He's going to make up for that. Right now, he's running a breadstick. So... maybe you're going to need to, because that's also their round count right now. Looking like, I think there's a very, very strong chance that this goes to TSM at the moment. We'll see how this first defense round shakes out, though. Maybe TSM just all of a sudden going to play terrible on defense, and it won't be the same. Good job with the Mozzie mute, though, denying droning here for DarkZero. They're going to try and make sure that's very difficult, especially for the shock drone here. Now, the shock drone, of course, can clear out some of that utility, so it does have some advantage. It's also going to clear out some coup mines, as you see. But at the same time, not being able to jump means it can't get around the mute jammers or the pests most of the time without an angle to shoot them first. So Clip's going to have to use this very smartly, as a lot of the Twitch players don't use it necessarily for clearing out utility so much as for droning quietly. There we go. He throws it right into a pest. He thought maybe he'd get shot by the player on the other side, but instead now it's Achieved who's going to be running that against him. Very likely to just set it up in a flank position.
That's a pests have a 10-foot vertical. I'll be honest with you. That's a Kobe right there.
You saw Achieved using it as well just a second ago.
Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Of course, never forgotten. True legend.
Now when we say Kobe, there's going to be a little hurt inside.
It really will, honestly. But there's Bolo rotating up. As he'll take a bit of damage in engagement. The walls have been opened here to enter. And there's Skies just peeking around the corner inside of the garage. We'll find one unachieved. There's a trade-off. The Heartbreacher, one of the two Heartbreachers for the Mozzie. Bolo low HP, but there's the finisher from Hot and Cold.
There we go.
Good headshot to clean him up. Reminder, this is an attack onto Church. So right now, is TSM trying to burn as much time as humanly possible?
They're a lot more aggressive than DarkZero's been, though.
Honestly, killing the Habana is a huge pick here, and at least forcing the Habana to use those X-Kairos to open up the wall from Jacuzzi. One more, actually, here for DarkZero's. Gio's been able to find two, and he's left alone against Skies and Eclipse. And playing Legion is not too shabby when it comes to trying to clutch around. There's one headshot, a 3K around the corner. Gio, one more Guman on the floor, trying to delay. Gio with the clutch again. Eclipse is down. TSM with yet another round. They're just walking away with this one. Oh my!
Picking up Gio was the play. This man in these clutch spots.
How do you even do that?
It's plays like that that people want Legion nerfed for.
I mean, I completely agree. As someone who plays Legion, and you too.
I guess, yeah, I am good at Legion, so
it's
literally
broken. Fair enough. But honestly, this sort of thing is just so powerful for Legion. He's just so good at controlling.
But that was Gio's game sense.
That was 100%. 100%.
His movement was exactly what it needed to be.
He got so low there at the end on HP. It was honestly like, I thought he was going to
Well, he really shouldn't have won that, but he absolutely did. His hits onto the player in the hallway were just so on point on the edge, the pixel edge of that peeking head. It's like he anticipated.
It's like he shot the ear off of that operator walking in.
He also smartly read, like he saw a player just as he was crossing. He knew that that player would cross, anticipated him to be on the other side of the doorway.
Well, TSM are on the cusp of Germany-Braziling this game.
Yeah, who would have thought, gee, match of the day, maybe 7-1?
Like walkover, man.
Yeah.
2 ties, and we're staring down the barrel of a 5th walkover game. No game in North America. I'll check the other regions in just a moment, but no game in North America in those games of the day.
If they actually win this, it'd be only the 3rd 7-1 we've had so far.
The closest we have had was 7-3 SSG versus Reciprocity in terms of it's a walkaway victory. Otherwise, there were ties, 2 of them, and 7-2, 7-1s. That's it.
And keep in mind, TSM won 5 attacking rounds on Clubhouse. That's Thatcher banned themselves. They prepared for that, for sure. I mean, it's a given that they did, but they prepared well.
I don't want to overhype it, but I'm going to do it anyways because there's no way you can overhype it. These 2 teams are playing an invitational, and TSM is going to be on LAN. And this is LAN is famously where TSM really shine. And if you're seeing them right now, this is Merc Unleashed, but Gio also unleashed. Man, I cannot wait for SI to see how well they perform. North America, man, I mean, you're really going to fear him, especially this time.
Yeah, they're looking good. At least Hot Gold was able to kill his counterpart, Merc, last time on the Maverick. So that was a good start. And honestly, TSM really shouldn't have won it last year because they overplayed their aggression, something that DarkZero were being very careful not to do. But the fact that Gio was left alive to clutch it out. Achieved already started things off well. That's taking a very important player. Hyper on the Zofia already dead. And Achieved still had a camera there to be able to at least get some idea if he was going to get pushed. Now he's going to be able to rotate. He did lose the camera, but not before getting some good intel on that first. So again, TSM just continuing to slow down the attackers here. Now this is on cache though, so they are able to get a bit more map control as the players on TSM are not as spread out.
Bit of info as things have kind of calmed down for a moment. Smith's trying to open the wall. In EU, games that are considered the match of the day have been way closer. We have had 2 ties through them, but mostly 7-5s and 7-4s. That said, we're back. Achieved is going to try to walk it up from Church. Bit of fire from Hot and Cold through the soft wall, and will do no damage as the 2 defenders were sitting behind that reinforced wall. You see the standard default wall. Eclipse top of the build on the roof, waiting for the right moment to dive down, and this Nitro cell potentially being prepped here. Achieved, this is what we were talking about before, Devin. They're going to walk into sight. No,
waiting.
there it is. There's one Nitro, the second one as well. Though Eclipse will be able to find Bolo. 2, and actually turn it into 3. Yes, Skies will take down Pojo. One more for Skies. That's 2K for 2 players, and the last one for Skies to clean things up. Nitro cells do not connect at all, and DarkZero walk in. TSM were expecting DZ to be way slower and sit inside of construction for a few more seconds.
Yeah.
It almost was the right moment.
It was really down to the 2 news players of DarkZero, Eclipse and Skies, just barreling in and pushing in at that right time, just narrowly avoiding those C4s. That was close, but that was really down to some good aggressive play. Eclipse, especially capitalizing on the F2, getting 2 kills very quickly, which is a little more difficult to do now with the magazine size. That means he's hitting his shots, though, not just spraying into the room. They did a good job cornering a lot of the players, but now he's actually going to switch off to the Nomad via 6th pick here. And we'll see a Chief sneak onto the Mozzie. They're going to try Cash one more time. If it doesn't work out, guess where they go back to? Church, where they played very well. Although, like I said, they did overplay their aggression a little bit. That round they didn't. They played a bit more the way DarkZero played, which was just trying to keep them pushed back and then wait till the push in. It was just DarkZero had a bit more success on that push than I think TSM was anticipating. They will have a bit more drone denial here. They'll have that mute Mozzie, try and stall things out again. See if Achieved will get another free drone this round. Definitely helped out previously. While players are getting very good at avoiding drones, it doesn't help if you, avoiding pests. It doesn't help if you throw a drone into one because you don't get the indicator, obviously. Sky's looking good up there at 9. Hasn't quite broke double digits yet, but not bad for only having 2 rounds taken so far. But overall, Bolo's just the only one. We're waiting for him to show up a little bit in terms of the kills, but nonetheless, they're all doing their job, so not a big deal either way. He was trying to push them back as best he could on that view. This guy's hoping to get something through the window on the pre-fire. He's got that G8 we were talking about earlier. Maybe rocking that. Skies has definitely improved on his IQ play from back what we saw in the day when we were kind of giving him a hard time about it. He's been playing very well on IQ these days, as well as on Habana, who Mint has taken over. Take advantage of these breach charges as well.
Yeah, why not, right?
The utility's still there, though.
What is it, though, that they have set up there? Is it a pest that's trying to block?
It's possibly a pest for them to throw a drone down.
Yeah.
You put them near hatches. The thing is, if it's a thermite that blows it up, generally that'll kill most pests near the hatch. But if it's just a regular breach charge like that, I don't think it does enough splash on the other side to hit them. There is a certain distance you can put them away, though.
Yeah.
But if they throw the drone the other direction, it might be able to escape it. Hard to say. It depends on exact distances and angles.
Fair enough. So there you go. It's a decent strategy, if you ask me.
Yeah, because you know they're going to drone that hatch, like guaranteed.
Eclipse going to go out and drone as Achieved will walk back into the bar for just a second. They might be looking for a peek here around the corner. Hot and Cold might be able to help him out as Mint appears to be
some more time burning. DarkZero's the only one to take damage outside of Pojo, but Mint dropping right now, really probably the worst time, and he may not be able to get back into the game before it's completely over.
And this is a big problem. Everybody DarkZero is playing in the same team house, so it's a bit of a terrible spot for it. Yeah, it really is unfortunate.
Achieved with the long barrel, a lot of damage done, and then finally one onto Eclipse. This is falling apart very quickly for DarkZero.
There's Sky's low in HP and Han Cold as well. Mint returned, unfortunately, a bit too slow.
You can spectate cameras, though, possibly.
It is a possibility.
He can still contribute.
So, a lot of damage has been done here to DarkZero players. Pojo Man has taken a bit of damage himself, but just trying to walk into Merc here. I mean, this is such a difficult position to play with if you're on full roster with utility. When you're in that 3v5, it is even worse, and there's just no grenades to deal with him. You can stun, but it's not enough. He can still fire back at you. And Achieved is watching. Hey, you want to push into billiards? I can shoot you from there. There's the headshot, and guess what? He's going to confirm that he has diffuser. So all is set and going very well for TSM to close out the game. Winning gunfights has definitely been the mainstay of TSM. There you go. This is confirmation.
Diffuser.
He's checking. There's nobody there. Nobody walked into garage just yet. He checks, and he finds the headshot. Skies is down. Achieved with one more. Hyper. Last one lost as Merc collects it. There's the GG. Unfortunate there of the timeout of Mint. But TSM victorious. That was pretty huge.
Huge. Not just huge. The way they played that, so good. So I am so excited to see TSM And Invitational. Wow, we rarely see the Legion, but just, oh man. TSM, they are on one. Mint's got to be kicking himself. I mean, obviously he didn't I doubt he ult that forward or something like that. It's just probably a crash, but that's really not going to help in a round where, I mean, maybe they wouldn't have won it anyways, but either way, a 7-2 against your competitive team. Now they have the tiebreaker as well. Yeah. So if going to the second half and
not only tiebreaker, it's a huge tiebreaker. 7-2 means that you really have a lot of flexibility in the second half.
The extra round differential.
That 5-round differential might end up being what sends TSM to land.
Let's say DarkZero does tie with them and wins their match against TSM the next time. That round differential could factor in.
All right. Well, we have our interview with TSM. Let's have a quick chat. Gio, congratulations. What do they feed you on this team?
Nah, man. I'm just here doing my part.
Well, you're definitely doing your part. I have to say, there have been a lot of clutch moments within this game. It seems like even when things are building up so much against you, TSM is always able to strike back. Now, we see the clutches, but can you talk to us about the communication that's happening in the background to allow all of these? Because gun skill is one thing. Having the awareness, there's so much that comes down to it.
Yeah, no, basically a lot of people think our team's as of now, Merc, which is understandable, but they don't realize all around we have 5 crazy players. And I mean, Merc is going up, but to be honest, it's just our teamwork, our comms, how we set ourselves up, from droning to operators to global abilities. It's just how we set our players up.
In general, it worked out really well for you guys. I have to say, the perfect play with the Maverick. Merc was able to open up every wall, every hatch required. I mean, honestly, I was just sitting here clapping like a seal because he opened, 2 hatches with a Maverick, which is not usually something we see, right?
By the way, so did our, but that's to our coach, by the way, Bagel. He showed him how to do that one, so shout out to Bagel.
Shout out to Bagel. There you go. So honestly, that was extremely well done. Good play, good practice. This is something that's been showing so much from TSM, and we were talking about practice. Are you guys preparing on going to a boot camp or something in preparation for Invitational? Reminder for everybody watching there that yes, indeed, you will see this team performing there.
Yeah, tomorrow we all head out to Cali for our boot camp. So we're pretty excited for that and seeing how we can compete at the Invitational.
That is going to be pretty huge. It's a great way to round out your first half of the season, right? You won against your big opponents basically in the region. You have a huge tiebreak over them and those extra 3 points. It's a perfect way to set yourself up for SI and for the rest of it. Anything you'd like to say to all the fans to close things out? Honestly, TSM's performance today was absolutely stellar.
Shout out to everyone that supported us. Shout out to basically that. Thanks for always being there for us and hoping to do good at Invitational.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Gio, and congratulations again. Hopefully we get to see your clutches at Invite. Of course, everybody wants to tune in and see what TSM has to offer in Montreal in just a couple of weeks. Good night.
Thank you as well. Bye-bye.